Hello, everybody. This is Alia Jamal, the love coach, and we are meeting for another love circle. And today we are learning how to master your emotions. So, being a woman, I forever thought that my emotions are all over the place and I don't know how to control them. And I hear all the other women saying similar things. I'm so emotional. I cry all the time. I don't know what to do. I'm an emotional being. So, what I am going to do in this session, in this conversation, is help us understand what emotions are, why we have them, how to use them to our advantage, and how to master them. Because, of course, we want to go to work, or if you run your own business, or if you are you are in that stage where you're staying home and taking care of the family, and you don't want to be an emotional mess all the time, and you want to be focused and be able to do everything that you want to do. So we are going to learn some very cool tricks which I used on regular basis when I go into anger and I want to just come back to um, and I go into, let me just see, we got let's put myself back into. Okay, we're all set. Um, so I use these tips and tricks for myself when I go way much into anger. I have a little child, and sometimes it is not easier for me to control myself. So let's say I go way into anger, and how I can quickly bring my self back within few seconds, within 30 seconds. So that is what we'll be learning. But first, we are going to get into a little bit of what emotions are. So I'll be sharing with you the stuff that I have learned in my coaching experience and also the energy healing experience. And we want to understand all different aspects of it so we can help ourselves better. So now, in short words, emotions are energy in motion. But what I want to show you, which with my light here, not sure if you guys can see it really well. So this is our physical body. Let me just bring it a little closer. I changed the direction of my light and now it's right in the middle of my board. So this is our physical body. There is our etheric body. So that is the etheric body is what I work on when I am doing energy healing. But there's also an emotional body and there's also a mental body. So when I am doing healing, I am working on the etheric body and the emotional body. So when you are experiencing an emotion, the energy in your emotional body is moving like this. And we are going to understand, depending on what emotion you're experiencing, why it feels like it, why there's a physical impact to it. For example, if we are feeling sad, our body feels it. It's not just outside of us, it's actually within our body. So every emotion that we experience, it starts with some kind of trigger. The trigger could be a past memory. The trigger could be a song. The trigger could be a word. It could be a smell. The trigger happens through our five senses. So let's say I used to love what my mom made every Sunday. It used to be like, this yummy chicken dish. And let's say I'm just going somewhere and I just hear the word, that same dish, it's going to remind me of what my mom used to cook, and I'm just going to feel all the joy. So that is how there's always a trigger. So whenever we hear that, the energy body starts to move. Whenever there's something happening in our energy body, it's changing things in our physical body. So your brain chemicals are changing. You're going to have more of a joy experience. Neurotransmitters are going to be different. The hormones that go in our mind, neurotransmitters, they are going to be different based on what emotion you're feeling. So your whole body feels it. But our natural way of being is in peace, which is one of the highest vibration. And unfortunately, most of us don't even know what is that way of being. So look at a child, maybe a 1 year old, 2 year old child who is growing up in a very healthy, emotionally healthy environment, not in an environment where mom and dad are screaming all the time. So, however, that child interacts with life, they are very calm, they are very collected, they are very giggly, they are happy, joyful, peaceful. Give them a toy, they'll just sit there, play with it. That is our natural way of being. But whenever we go away from that natural way of being, that is when we experience an emotion, because that energy is moving. So if we are in that natural way of being, it's peace. And now I am going into joy, and then maybe I'm going into sadness, I am going into anger. It's all uh, where we are in that vibration. And I'll be sharing a book with you guys that you can study in depth to understand these different vibration and how you can do that work on your own too. So this is just to share, there is an invisible uh, energy body around you called emotional body, and when there's a movement in it, that's when you experience the emotion. And it starts with some kind of trigger. And Eckhart Tolle talks about a pain body. So pain body is accumulation of all the icky stuff that has happened in the past. It stays in our emotional body. Something happened, it gets poked, and then we just blow up. So a lot of people who are very calm, very peaceful, and then they go from 0 to 10 anger in few seconds. So they do have that pain body that they are not really addressing. We suppress emotion a lot. And of course, men do it, women do it too. For us, emotions are maybe right here. For them, it's more suppressed. But when we are working in, let's say, in a day-to-day job, the modern world that we live in, there's not room to feel emotional. I remember one time something happened. I was crying at work, and it's not something that is very well accepted or allowed. So you have to wipe your tears, you have to stay centered because you are around other people. So, us women, we also get used to suppressing our emotion that deep. Okay, so now why do we even want to talk about it? Why do we even want to process our emotion, understand them, or master them? If we keep suppressing our emotion and we are not really processing them or understanding them, we start getting all kind of physical diseases, because this is what's happening. There is solar plexus chakra right here. That is the emotion center. So there's one part of it in the front, one part of it is in the back. When we are going through, uh, let's say you're feeling very anxious, your solar plexus chakra is expanding, 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 because it's like a motor that is trying to work, but it's not working. Something got stuck in there and it's moving, moving, moving. It's overactive. When it's overactive, it keeps expanding, but it's not really getting the energy to all the internal organs that it's supposed to provide energy. So people who are very anxious, or they are very stressed out, or they are very afraid all the time, they do have stomach issues, GI tract issues, all the IBS, SIBO, all that whole umbrella of diseases that we have starts with our depleted solar plexus chakra. So we want to make sure that we are learning how to process our emotion, how to connect with them, not let them get us sick, really understanding their message, and also mastering them, because that is when life gets so much more beautiful, so much more in control, and you're going to really enjoy it. So it does have a physical impact when we shove our emotions under the rug and never look at them. So we do want to process it. So let's get into uh, how we can do that. So let's say you are experiencing anger and you want to experience happiness in that moment. How can you even start that? It is going to happen on 3 levels when we do create that change. We have to create a change in our physical body so it can change the chemical in our mind. Because whenever we are experiencing an emotion, there's a trigger that's creating change. So physically, if let's say you're very angry, you can leave the room. It's a very easy, coaching tip. Leave the room, sit down, lay down, go drink water, count till 10, take a deep breath. All those things that you're doing is creating a change in your physical body. But then what do we want to do? There's a trigger going on in your mind that's like, spinning you. So then we want to ask questions to stop that thought. So usually this is how it happens. Let's say that you're going to the mall, and then maybe you saw a dress, and then you realized, oh, I am not that size, I can't wear. I do know a lot of my clients, they have mall anxiety for that kind of reason. And now you're feeling very anxious, now you're feeling sad, you're feeling mad at yourself. Why did you let yourself get to where you are? So that is the trigger that is going on. And as long as that thought is going on, so that is the story we are telling ourselves, that emotion is going to stay active. Because your body, your energy body, or your higher self is trying to tell you, hey, it's like alarm going on. Hey, you're not in your center, you're away from it. I'll actually draw it out to help you see a visual, how it can look. So let's say this is your natural way of being, right in the middle. My marker is getting very dry down. Yeah, you cannot see. Let me see. Okay, I don't have any other marker right now. So let's say you're getting stretched out. The farther you're going from your center, the more negative the emotion is going to be. Another way to understand it, every emotion has its own vibration. It's all energy. So anyone here who have ever studied physics, we understand vibration very well. When we experience lower emotion, for example, sadness, guilt, shame, they have lower vibration. So they bring you down. When you experience peace, which is one of the highest emotion that you can experience, we feel very elated. We feel very high. They have a higher vibration. So this is exactly what happening when you're right at your center. You're feeling in peace. And what does it even mean being in the center? You are plugged into your higher self. You're not plugged into what happened to me 5 minutes ago, who did to me yesterday. You're not anywhere outside of you. You're plugged into who you really are. So that is the piece right in the middle. But let's say you did pay attention to outside of you. Now you're triggered, and there's whole mechanism going on within you. So you're getting energetically away from your center. And that is the energy that's the farther you're going, the lower the vibration is, the more you feel down. And your body is just telling you, hey, please listen, you're getting off track. And that message come in terms of emotion. But because it comes with a surge of energy, you have no idea what to do with it. So I wanted to show you this very cool book. I absolutely love it. Power versus Force by David Hawkins. He has some very cool books. This is one of the books I have really enjoyed. So he has this map of consciousness. And this is page, if you ever get the book, it's at page 319. So in Map of Consciousness, he talks about the different emotion and their the process, what's going on, the level, the life view, the God view, and the vibration. So I just want to read actually the vibration to make it more real for us in terms of numbers. So then it makes sense to you why you feel so low. And the reason the number is so low, it's so not you, the real you, the true you. We all are created in the image of God. So we do have that higher part within us that is like God. When we go away from it for whatever reason, we experience lower vibration, and that is these emotions. So shame is at 20, guilt is at 30, grief is at 75, fear is at 100, desire is at 125, anger is at 150, pride is at 175, and courage kind of comes in the middle. That's at 200. So that is when we have kind of started going up. From courage, we are just going up. When we go below courage, we're just down, down, down. So think of a time in your life when you didn't feel like you even have the courage to say what you want to say, courage to do what you want to do. You felt really low. But as soon as you felt like, oh, I have the courage to step up, you started feeling elated. That is the reason. Um, then there's neutrality at 250, acceptance 350, love 500, joy 540, peace at 600, enlightenment 700 to 1000. We all are after enlightenment. I definitely am. I hope you are too, because that is where human really get to experience all that they are. And if we can get to that level in this lifetime, that would be wonderful. So we were talking about all the different ways that we are going to actually interfere to what's going on and master our emotions. So first one we talked about is a change in our body. And I just wanted to share that there are different vibrations going on with different emotions. And as you're changing your body, whether you're going like this, whether you're laying down, whether you start running around, whether you take deep breaths, you get back to your body, your focus is coming here. But where the real magic happen is in your mind. So there are a few questions I want you to write down on a piece of paper. Uh, if you cannot do it right in the middle of that moment, you can do it maybe later, but definitely do it the same time when you do have an emotional outburst of any kind. Of course, we are not trying to change our higher emotions. We all are interested in changing our lower emotions. So asking yourself this question, what am I feeling? Make that a habit, asking yourself as many times in the day as possible. How am I feeling right now? What am I feeling right now? Because if you're one of those people who have suppressed their emotion for so long in the beginning, you wouldn't even know what you're feeling. You would just say, I'm okay. Like one time with one of my clients, we did a whole session just understanding what this emotion is, whatever they are feeling, what exactly it is. We took out this whole long list of emotion and we started to label them. Because if you don't know what you're feeling, you can't even work with it. So just getting into that habit, what am I feeling? How am I feeling? I generally ask myself, I like to talk to myself in a third person or second person, whatever that is. I'll just say, Alia, how are you doing? What are you feeling? Because I'm talking to the inner child within me. And sometimes I'll say, what is there something I can do for you? It's such a healthy conversation to have going on within us. And my life changed a lot when I started to connect with myself that way. I do know at all time how I'm feeling. Um, and then you can ask why I am feeling this. So if you're feeling joyful, why am I feeling joyful? Oh, I just got to take a nap today. It's very good to know why you're feeling what you're feeling. Here's the reason why. So you're not absorbing from other people. So there are people who call themselves empath. I personally don't believe in labels. I believe in we all have the ability to master our energy. If you have not mastered your energy yet, you're absorbing everybody else's emotion. You're going to feel down. Maybe that is the term we consider empath. but you can master your energy. You can learn how to separate yourself from others and not absorb. Then you won't be an empath. So it's really up to us how much we want to master ourselves. So asking yourself, why am I feeling it? So you know, is it your emotion or you just picked it up from somebody else? When I go in big groups, and I was just in a big group this morning, I do some tips and tricks, which I'm going to share with you guys in a few, to protect my own energy. I work with energy. I'm becoming more and more sensitive. And sometimes I might just start feeling down or weird. And I'll be like, what happened? And it just happened to me a few days ago where I came out of a meeting and I was just like, why am I feeling so low? And then I remember, oh, it's not mine. So always ask yourself why I am feeling this emotion. Um, and then you can ask yourself, what am I focusing on? Let's say you're feeling sad and you're like, well, I'm feeling sad because, my trip got canceled. That could be a big bummer. What I am focusing on. This is the most crucial piece because this is what happens. There's a story going on in your mind, and that is the story that's feeding to the storm that you're experiencing. And that story is coming from your unconscious mind. That is all the feeding that unconscious mind had since the childhood. So there is a narrative that's sitting there. That narrative is feeding into the story. And generally, that is a narrative of I am a victim. And what we want to do, we want to switch it to I'm a creator of my life. When it's sitting in the victim, and be like, why does it always happen to me? I never get a break from everything I was really looking forward to. Now I'll have nothing to look forward to. That is all the victim mindset. That story is coming from all the things that happen in childhood, all combined together. So ask yourself, what am I focusing on? Maybe you're just so focused on, oh, I don't get to go. You're not even focused on what else you can do while you're here. And maybe the next time when you get to go for a week. And right now you were going for 2 days. So that can make such a big difference that right now maybe I can, take a staycation and enjoy local stuff. So really asking yourself, what am I focusing on? And that does take time because if your awareness about what's going on in your mind unconsciously is not very expanded, it's hard to detect that what is it that you're focusing on. Be like, no, I'm not focusing on anything. My mind is blank. That is where you keep asking question because that is that part of your unconscious mind that wants to protect you. It would be like, hey, don't come here. No, no, don't come here. It's blank. Just leave. Go. Don't even ask this question. Keep asking the question, and your unconscious mind will give in. But you have to be persistent. So maybe do it 2, 3 times. What is it that I'm focusing on? What is it that I'm focusing on? And once you get what you're focusing on, the way you get out of it is asking, is it true? Is it really true? Can I be 100% sure it's true? So I'll give you another example more in terms of relationship because relationship is a big place. That's where we completely lose control of our emotion. Let's say you have a best friend and your best friend is getting married and your best friend did not invite you. Everyone else is invited and you were not invited. And now you're just sitting there crying, thinking, she hates me, she doesn't like me, and all the stories. Maybe you will go down like 20 years ago, this happened, I said that, maybe like, that's what's going on. So you sit with yourself and you ask, is that true? Can you be 100% sure that it is true? And when you ask the question over and over, you would realize, no, it's not. Our mind tells us so many lies that becomes our trigger that creates a chaos in our emotional body. So we want to ask this question, is it true? So this is how you'll be changing everything that is going in your thinking, in your thought process. Your thoughts are energy. When they start spinning, they go out and create a big storm in your energy body. and that big storm you feel in your physical body. So there's a whole circle going on. Um, so the way we want to get out of it is first changing your physical body, asking these questions, and then right away you can use some tips and tricks to bring your energy body in alignment. So think of it this way, that there's a fire. You want to figure out what caused the fire, how it started, how it spread. Well, first you have to just put off the fire. So this is the put off the fire. Take control of energy, and then you can, maybe change your position, like, use your physiology, but definitely do the work of asking yourself these 4 questions, because that is where you're going to really discover how to master yourself on an emotional level. So these tips and tricks are, let me just draw it again. So there's 2 energy points that I want you to focus on, and it's very easy. So here goes our physical body. So there's this Ajna chakra. It's right between your eyebrows. And then there's solar plexus chakra. Solar plexus chakra that is where that is the emotion center, and there's one front and one is in the back. And then this Ajna chakra, it's actually also called master chakra, because you can control so much in energy body through Ajna chakra. So I'm just going to go a little slow. What does this point means? This just means there's an electromagnetic field here that can actually control rest of the electromagnetic fields. You got an electromagnetic field here. And then your tip of the finger has a tiny electromagnetic field there too. So you can just put this finger over here, focus here, focuses energy, and breathe. Breath also brings that energy. So 3 breaths here. And then you're going to put your finger right on your solar plexus chakra, and you're going to take 3 breaths there. Just 3 breaths. What you're doing, when this one gets balanced, this one gets balanced. So we are balancing the 2. When these 2 are balanced, everything else gets balanced. So you're pretty much taking the water, putting it on the fire, and then the fire is going to be gone. That is what we are doing. So now let's go through an actual situation. Let's say, now I'm going to use an extreme example, right? Let's say you're having a beautiful day, and then, you're going down the road, somebody just bump into your car, and now you're in a car accident. And the first thing is you start to panic. Oh my God, what's going to happen? My insurance is going to go high. You're really feeling so anxious and emotional. You might even start crying. You might feel like you want to hug somebody. So what you can do, 1 finger here, 1 finger here, just 3 deep breaths. So your energy body comes in control, and then you can come out of the car, you can drink some water, you're changing your physiology, and then you're asking yourself those 4 questions. And those 4 questions are, what am I feeling? Why am I feeling that? What am I focusing on? So of course you're focused on all the expenses that is coming up. So you're not in this moment. So you're away from your center because you're spread out, not in your center. You're not plugged in with the higher self of you. And then you ask yourself, what's the truth? What is true here? The truth is that your insurance is going to cover most of it. And even if there is some expense, you will be okay. You will take care of it. So doing this, these 3 steps very quickly, you're actually going to come back in your body and be like, yeah, I'm here. I can be present. But start it by getting hold of your energy body first. For example, when I am getting angry, that is the only emotion, extreme emotion I experience sometimes. I'll be telling my son, get ready, we have to go in 5 minutes, we're getting late from school. And the kid is sitting there doing drawing. So those are the only moments I do kind of lose it. So I just put my finger here and I just ask myself, what's the truth here? Well, we might get late and it's okay. It's nothing that I need to bend over or get so angry about. Another thing I wanted to teach, that I just mentioned, if you are a person who pick up other people's energy, if you meet with a friend and she's feeling very sad and then you come home and now you're feeling very sad too, um, so we connect with other people on our solar plexus chakra. So there is literally an energy connection between you and your loved one. So your friend would be one. So all you have to do, imagine you're disconnecting it. You can take your hand in the front once, in the back once, and you are disconnecting that energetical connection. So now you just feel your energy body, not their emotional body as well. So when you're just feeling yourself, you're going to realize that you are so much at peace and you're not really sad because there's nothing that happened in your life that is sad. There's no story going on. It was just that you are energetically sensitive and you don't have all the tools to create that energetical boundary. So that's why you're feeling it. It's a very quick tip. I do this whenever I go to any kind of gathering, big or small. I do this even with all the content that I put out. I even do it like, once I'll be done doing a workshop like this, it really keeps you in your energy field and not connected with other people's energy. So try that tip. So I believe that is all that I have about emotions. So next time when you're feeling very low, very sad, just remember your center is peace, and something that's going on in your mind, or there's a trigger that has taken you away from your center. And the farther you go, the lower you feel. All you have to do is bring yourself back to the center by resolving your thoughts and also taking hold of your energy, changing your physical body. And if there's something that is very traumatic that has happened, of course, it's going to take deeper work because it would require rewiring of your unconscious mind, the beliefs that are sitting there. Sometimes when we go through something traumatic, we just start believing that, okay, it happened to me because I deserved it. So that kind of belief can really keep you stuck in sadness and misery, and you can actually come out of it. Um, but it would require a little bit digging a little bit deeper. So if that is something you're going through, please reach out to me. If you're watching it here in Facebook, reach out to me. If you're just a random stranger watching me on YouTube, just Google Alia the Love Coach, DM me. And, one conversation sometimes can create such a big difference in your life. And again, I say it all the time, you don't have to be my client. I am here to talk to anybody who wants to talk about their own emotions and how you can master them so you stay more in control of your life, so you get to create life the way you want. So that is all for today. I'm sending love to all of you. I'll see you next Thursday. Bye.